Hey, I'm back where I belong. I'm back in Richmond, Virginia, where I live, and it's been a long day. In the last half of the day, or the last few hours of the day, was spent in travel. So today's vlog for day 72 of 365 on YouTube, and then day 49 of 365 on my online journal is going to be quick but interesting. I find that when I travel, I always get this refreshed perspective, and I could literally travel an hour away or multiple hours away from the other side of the world, and I just feel like something is refreshed, and mainly because of the people we meet, and particularly the people I meet from this little perspective it's just so amazing. The people I meet are just amazing and mirroring back to me just these other opportunities, these other examples that exist in their energy, like in their perspective, from their point of view, kinda, sorta. And if this sounds weird, let me just break it on down. I thought it was kind of interesting that I met so many small business owners today, or entrepreneurs, or just off the beaten path type people today. So when I first got there, my Airbnb host was just a really interesting small business person, and she's super duper into personal development. I've still been chatting with her. There's a lot of Russians in Miami, and it's really funny because there's you'll be walking down the street and then you'll hear someone speaking a different language that sounds like Russian, and she's Russian, and so it's always really funny when you're interacting with someone whose first language is not, whose native language isn't English, because there's so many words that are not, or so many terms that are not apparent, that they don't understand. And I think it's such a great example of how language is just this thing that we kind of just made up or whatever, and it doesn't always transfer over. And I kind of love that. I always feel like non-Americans seem a little bit more trustworthy for that reason, because they can't use a whole bunch of roundabout language. Most often their language is very direct, and I find that seems a little bit more trustworthy or something. But anyways, my Lyft driver, I use Lyft, not Uber. My Lyft driver was this trader, this online trader, which I thought was super interesting. He was telling me all this stuff. I seriously thought that when I was getting out of the car and going to the airport that he was going to pitch me or something, because his description and his story was that good that I was almost maybe I should be curious about this. And I am a bit curious, mainly because financial stuff is something that a lot of times I think we kind of swear off, that's hard. For me, I'm trading, that's hard, I'm gonna lose a bunch of money. But anyways, he was you need a lot of money to start it, basically, is what he was telling me. And some of the stuff he was telling me was kind of interesting, and I just think it's cool that there's so many small business owners around, the Airbnb, Uber, Lyft type hub space. And then my little park and go shuttle guy was also an entrepreneur. Isn't that weird? I mean, come on. 3 people in one day, when I almost never interact with small business owners on a daily basis. I usually have to go to some type of mastermind or something. But it keeps just putting me in this energy of realizing how easy it is to shift into someone else's perspective if you want to use that to say, overcome something. But I think it's clearer if I actually do it and then, show it as an example. So I'm playing with that this week, hopping into someone else's energy or perceived energy and perspective to make things happen, or just do certain things that might not seem like you. That's not me. That's not me to, go out and da-da-da. I don't know. I'm really tired, so obviously this is a little rambly. I started my challenge today. I'm excited about that. The other thing I did want to talk about today was, so whenever I join like a group of small business owner women that I feel like might be a fit for me, it's almost not ever. And I feel like that's just such a great example. If you are a person, because I struggled with this too, like someone's already doing it, so I can't do it because that other people, you know, I'm not gonna be as good or something like that, whatever the case may be. I can't do it because someone else is doing it. Someone else is doing it, but not at the level that, you know, you're gonna do it or that I'm gonna do it. It's just gonna be different. So I'm in this mastermind group, and the leader is a brown skinned woman. She's like mixed race, but she's brown skin, and that is one of the things that attract me to the group because she's very like, you know, on top of things, and she looks like me. And I've had some bad experiences from coaches that necessarily are not like that. And then in the group though, everybody's kind of like faith-based a little bit, and so it's really interesting because there were a couple times over the weekend where there's conversations going on about church and stuff, or like you know, testimonies and things like that, just church-like stuff. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Like I don't, you know what I mean? Like I'm not really into anything church. And I did explain that I didn't have a religion. Sorry, my neck is really stiff from falling asleep in the chair. I didn't have a religion, and one lady was like, yeah, Satan loves when you Satan loves when you don't have a religion. That's what Satan wants. And I was like, no, Satan wants all the religion. Satan wants the separation. Satan wants all of the religion is bad. So, but I find that so interesting that whatever perspective we do take on, we just believe wholeheartedly that that perception is right. It doesn't matter how ridiculous it is. We take on whatever perception, whatever example, whatever persona, whatever perspective. We just believe that that perspective is right. And then another person will believe their perspective is right. So obviously it's not that. It's not just thinking that you're so right. If anything, it is pretty funny. I mean, come on. Satan doesn't care about little me. Or maybe, I don't know. Anyway, little me is going to bed, and yeah. Day 49.